This is The Gardens Between. It's a pretty cool-looking atmospheric puzzle game. You play two kids who do weird, surreal things. That's all I know about it. So let's discover it together. So Cloudcraft is still encouraging me to keep playing The Messenger, which I will, just not right this minute. Because I went so long without streaming very often, I ended up developing a bit of a backlog. So I'm going to try to blast through as many new games as I can over the next little while. I've got some work from home days coming up, so maybe I'll be able to stream from home, hopefully. Kind of depends on what my family's doing. But speaking of families doing stuff, I assume this is a brother and sister? They could be neighbors, though. Whoa. We're in slow motion. Or are they floating? It's weird. My screen here that you can't see does this flickering thing whenever little loading icons are up on the screen. It's weirding me out. Okay, so it looks like things are slowly collapsing. I'm moving the left stick right now. If I let go of the left stick, everything stops. If I move the left stick to the left, everything reverses. So it's not really like I'm controlling the characters. It's more like I'm controlling the timeline, and the characters are just doing what they do. Okay, so that box is in the way, so I need to back up. All the way, apparently. Whoa, I can go pretty far. And something different happened. Okay, so we got this shiny guy. He's like, oh, I want to go in this lantern. And what did that do? Apparently it changed the way the box fell? I don't quite get that, actually, but yeah, it's interesting. Like, each character, it seems like they're not even, I mean, are they animated? Like, have they been animated to run up this particular path? Did they go that far? All right, so we push A to have her grab the thing. Now she's got the thing. Now they're they're holding hands. That's so sweet. So what would have happened if I'd come up here and she hadn't been holding the lantern? Okay, so I'm betting it would be too expensive to actually try to animate each version of them walking up the entire island. They probably do have walk cycles, and they just have paths that they move along. And she's got a different walk cycle if she's holding the lantern versus if she's empty-handed. At least that's what would make sense to me. But they do a lot of like stopping and goofing around along the way. Like, they don't just jog or run or walk. Like, he stops and he gestures at that dangly thing. I'm like, what is that? So he rings it, and it makes that happen. And it's a continuous source of this. So what is there? Okay, so now she just remembers having this all the time? The timeline of this. And so now he isn't ringing it. He rang it, like an alternate timeline version of him rang that. And then a previous alternate timeline version of her grabbed the light. And then a previous alternate timeline version of her always had the light. Thinking about what it's like to be these children is a bit mind-blowing. Okay, so she's got this, and she can jump across it, but oh no. It's getting eaten by the thing. Okay, so she probably needs to carry that light up here. Is he the only one that can ring the bells? Okay, so I wonder... Okay, so he just closed the void. So now... I wonder if it's going to be a thing where, like, if there's going to be puzzles in this game where getting him to a point where he can interact with something means also getting her to a point where it's creating a problem, or vice versa. Because there's got to be a reason why there are two characters in this game, right? Aside from the fact that it kind of looks neat. Like, I'm betting that mechanically, the fact that there's a sort of a gap between the characters has got to be important at some point. These... Okay, so these two things I just unlocked combine to create a... Is this a memory? Oh, is he meeting her for the first time? Huh, interesting. So are we going to be going through, like, the annals of their life together? So I guess they're not brother and sister. I imagine they're probably neighbors, and that treehouse is between their two houses. And now we're riding a houseboat up to a... Is this a giant hose? Cloudcraft is seeing an analogy between this and Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. There might be some storytelling elements here that really take advantage of the fact that there's two characters who need each other. Okay, so he just remarked on something. What did he notice? What did he notice? Some kind of gift hiding back there? I wonder if that's an unlockable. Okay, he's hiding in there. Oh, and he pops out. Oh, he's not a gift. He's a light receptacle? Okay, so she can't go any further. Oh, but I can put my lantern in the receptacle, reverse time, get it lit, and then bring it back. And as far as this girl remembers, she never had the lantern and it arrived lit. Arriving lit. That sounds like something you do at a party. Okay, so it's hopping around some more. So now it's here. I'm not sure why. I'm betting I want to put the lantern in there. Let's see what it does now. I'm gonna get over here. Okay, so the problem is it's got to go by that void, unless Captain Dingle over here removes it. Okay, so I think I got ahead of that particular problem. The light would have been absorbed by the void, except we dingled the bell. It's a little weird to be... So I moved to the right to move the timeline. It's weird when they're walking to the left. It kind of freaks me out. I guess the camera's still moving to the right, which is probably... That's probably meant to make this make more sense to me. So I actually originally bought this on Switch. I think it might be on Game Pass, though. I think that's why I have it on Xbox. I don't remember now. I recently got a Game Pass subscription, and I downloaded a couple of games that I got through Game Pass. I think this was one of them. Okay, so I've got a light. Oh, but nope, it's going to get eaten by the void. But I don't think I've got an opportunity to do anything with it right now. No, I don't. So let's just let the light get eaten by the void and see what we can do. So we lose it to the void. And now it's here. So let's attach the lantern. See what happens. happens. Okay, so it gets the light that way. Dodges the void. Arrives here. Pick it up. Use it to activate the bridge. It's an interesting combination of like dream elements and what look like high-tech elements. It's interesting to see something that looks like technology in a game like this. Like, you kind of expect everything to have a dreamlike quality, for everything to be like, I don't know, like Journey or something. Okay, so this sucker's going everywhere. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to get a light into it, though. Let's see. Maybe we need to reverse it until it gets a light. Huh. All right, well, let's take the lantern back and see where this guy goes. So, okay, so I can get the light there, and I have to back up just a little bit to put it in this guy, but then... Okay, so I walk by the void here, but I think that the bouncy guy goes by a void right there. But then maybe I need to put him back? And then pick it up again. This rotating mobile is insane, by the way. Like, it looks like it's rotating fairly consistently, but it was lining up with the characters at all the right times to do all the right things. This had to be really interesting and probably annoying for an animator to work out all the details. Oh, hey there, Turbo Ma, thanks for joining me. Cloudcraft, it's been a while since I played Breath of the Wild. He's asking whether I paid attention to what they were doing with the plateau tutorial, and I don't remember it well enough to be able to converse intelligently about it. And so it looks like we're seeing a memory of her coming over to his house while he's playing with a little pool. That's adorable. So Turvoma is about to recommend a new indie game to me. Yeah, please, shoot, go ahead. Tell me all about it. All right, so we've got a game table, some soda, a house of cards. Oh, Cloudcraft was picking out that apparently he's seeing a lot of water being used around some of these flowers that produce the voids and the lights. And so maybe at some point we'll end up manipulating water. Oh, interesting. So she carries the light, but he has the ability to interact with like all the other objects. So I can back that all the way up. And then just move forward as though that event had never happened. Okay. So I can't carry a light past here. What's this gonna be? Oh my gosh. Somebody had so much fun. Okay, so interesting. Okay, so I had imagined that I was just setting the start point for this. But no. Okay. Okay, so the problem is I think I need to get this light upstairs. But if I back up, I needed to collapse these blocks to make the light accessible, but I can't get any further if the blocks are collapsed. So I have to back up, but I need to make sure I'm carefully manipulating the voids so we don't lose the light in the process. So do I have to do this all the way, or can I just leave it partially done and it's just fine? Oh, and do not forget to ding the dingle. And here we go. Yes, it looks like it freezes in whatever state I put it in. So I wonder if I'm going to have to find some weird intermediate states at some point in later puzzles. So Turvamon is recommending Lucius 3. It says it's a third-person puzzle/adventure game. You play as a small child named Lucius, the son of Satan, but your real family doesn't know that you're evil. Okay, that is pretty interesting. Do you have to just do horrible things? Okay, so he's just gonna push some buttons like a weirdo. Oh, I wonder if I need to turn that on. Okay, so he can plug that in and then get out of there. Then we back up to the point where he's pushing buttons. Oh, did he not do anything? I assumed that would have some kind of effect. Well, I can't go any further. So let's see. So that falls out. That turns off the TV. Doesn't seem to do anything else. Yeah, so that's got to be what I'm supposed to do, right? Oh, if I stay here, it'll back all the way up. Okay. So, weird. So I had to spend time in a state where no time was passing for him. The time was passing, like, the parallel timelines in here, like, if this was a novel, this would not make any sense. Another, example of a thing you can do in a game that's just really hard to do in other media. It just would not make sense in other media. Not sure what the point of this particular locking key is. Unless, am I gonna have to, do I have to backtrack? What? What the heck? He just went inside the... Of course he did. All right, so I think, oh wait, can I not? Oh, I can't backtrack after I cross one of those. Interesting. Okay. What? Okay. So now, when I reverse it, will he... Oh, okay, so I need to put the lantern on him. And now, when he goes through there, he'll get the power up. This game is freaky. Like, they're not just playing with, like, it's not just that they built themselves a simple tool set and then just used it. Like, they built a simple tool set for us to understand, but they keep doing weird things that needed special, bespoke implementation in order to make them work. All right, so one more before we're unlocking this memory. All right, so what are we controlling now? Oh, we're controlling this guy, huh? So he goes a bunch of different places. All right. So, well, let's put our lantern. I wasn't paying attention to whether this little guy gains access to a light orb. So let's send him through again. Yeah, I don't see any light orbs, so must be something else we can do. Let's bring him back. I'm assuming having the lantern on him is a good idea, so I'm just going to leave that alone. Oh, what? Okay. So that falls out there. So it's in the light. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. Unless maybe leaving it here? Let's try leaving it there, see what happens. Okay, now it falls straight down. I gotta actually catch it midair. This is what I was talking about with like needing to find like intermediate states. But notice they set up the lamp to be this vertical line. It's leaning, but it's only leaning towards the camera in this exact direction. So it's still vertical, so I can use it as a reference point. That was very, very intentional, I imagine. There we go. So now it's got the light. So we can retract it to this point. Grab it and use it to cross the bridge. Okay, they're taking two different routes now. So I imagine, okay, so pillow falls down there and the food goes straight at the camera like it's a 3D movie. He goes a long way. So, okay, so she has a straight shot at the final thing. The main thing we need to figure out is how do we get an orb into that lantern? So wait, oh, there, okay, there is a flower. Oh. Interesting. So there's a little dingle bell right here that he can't do much with because it's covered by the blanket. So So I guess okay, first off, let's do this. Okay, that's freaking brilliant. I mean, that's how you use physics in a game like this, right? I mean, this is not... I mean, this game isn't a physics simulator, but that is a great way to make physics actually relevant to a game that's much more about sort of lock and key type stuff. That's interesting. Okay, so now that I've turned on... Actually, yeah, now that I've turned on the flower, where does... Okay, so this is where it flies like that. So So let's grab this guy. And again, I think lining him up with the bowl there is probably what we want to do. Oh, not quite. Huh. Oh, right, he doesn't have the lantern on him yet. Oops. Okay. So let's put the lantern on him. Then line him up with the bowl. Then dump the bowl out. Give him the light. Bring the light back to the girl. Pick it up. And everything marches forward. Hello. I keep expecting to interact with things like ladders, like to have to push a button to do it, but now these guys just play through their behaviors like normal. So I imagine this will unlock a memory of them watching movies or playing video games together. Oh, and a couch fort? Okay, yeah. Built a couch fort, they're playing video games together, she's throwing popcorn at him. Oh, it's the beginning of the end, she made him mad. It looks like you can kind of see there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 more levels like this. Well, I don't want to go through all of these levels and basically put the entire game on the internet. So let's pause it here. Let's stop here. Yes, definitely exit. So that is the Gardens Between. I'm pretty impressed. They took a fairly straightforward premise and did some really interesting individual things with it. Each of those levels, each of those puzzles, does something interesting to sort of mess with your expectations, and I found that pretty impressive.